Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we've got a beer from Trillium, and this is a can of their flagship IPA, Congress Street, clocking in at 7.2% ABV. Of course, a brewery that needs no introduction. About 5 or 6 years ago, you would have literally sold your children into slavery to pay over the odds for some of their beers here in the UK, or you may have been lucky enough to know someone who is wealthy enough to travel between the UK and America with pretty much their sole purpose of bringing American hype beers back to the UK. I'm looking at you investment bankers with a craft beer hobby. But of course, these beers make their way to the UK a hell of a lot more. Don't get me wrong, it's not cheap to pick these up, but every now and then you've just got to pay that little bit more just to try something. Yeah, so I thought I'd pick this up with oh my god, what's the other beer? I reviewed it like a year or so ago and absolutely fell in love with it. It's the one that's got the lamppost on the artwork. It was the double dry hopped version. Oh, I can't remember. It's just there on the shelf before it goes into the beer fridge. Oh my god, what's it called? I should know it, like right off the bat, because it was an absolutely tremendous beer, as have 98% of the Trillium beers that I've had. Not that there's many, and a good chunk of them have come from collaborations from other breweries that Trillium have collaborated with. There was that Omnipollo IPA that they did with, it was either Trillium or Treehouse, can't remember, which was just a little bit generic. Fort Point, is that the beer that just cropped in my head? Fort Point double dry hopped version. Tremendous, whatever that beer was, it was tremendous. And yeah, I picked up another can of that actually, because even though this is a new beer for me, I am trying to be a bit more conscientious of buying the beers that I know I really enjoy. And yeah, it's just a weird thing, even though I got this from Travelling Madness and there was just a lot of stuff that I threw in there to take it up to, yeah, it doesn't matter, I'm just waffling now. When you're spending £100 on a beer order, you don't want to just blindly put stuff in, so there was a conscientious thought to it. I'm in a situation where I can justify it, and let's just say I made it to the free delivery threshold, but I thought, no, I want beers for the bank holiday weekend, so I threw a few more in, and I've drank through quite a few of them already. But I have been making reviews like this one, so you will be seeing some content, very sporadic probably, and then you'll see nothing from me for a good while. But it is what it is, folks. I've never really been a popular beer review channel. I've never really aspired to be like that, really. He's going to talk about himself again, although I did have quite a popular film review channel which got absolutely destroyed by YouTube itself because of all the age restrictions and blah 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 blah, and the fact that everyone's so fucking sensitive nowadays. But it is what it is, folks, and what it is what it is. But we've got Congress Street with some nice boxes there. I did see on Vinted that there was some Trillium glasses that I think it was just one guy was selling them. But I'm not paying £30 for a slightly weirdly shaped beer glass. Although I have been seeing quite a lot of good, cheap international beer merch on Vinted. So if you're wanting to broaden your brewery merchandise, check out Vinted. And I'd imagine Depop has probably got a good amount of stuff on. I'm just waiting for a Sierra Nevada shirt like this. Funny enough, picked this up from Vinted as well, and it's Kettle House Brewing out of Montana. But there's all sorts of stuff on there. It's weird some of the stuff you find on Vinted. And if you barter, you're getting some absolute bargains. Anyway, I digress. I'm still trying to find a £30 Stone Island sweatshirt that doesn't have rips or like little tears on the sleeve or stains. But then again, the way Stone Island's made, they're all like white garments, aren't they, for the most part? So you could just dye them and you'd have a brand new garment. But it is what it is. That's Stone Island, right? It's got this reputation. But let's not forget, it's a really well-made and distinctive and prestiged Italian brand. So whatever reputation it has, probably justified for the most point, but it's one of those staple garments that I would just like to own. Sort of like the Adidas tracksuit jacket or the Carhartt, was it a Michigan jacket? Oh, I don't know what mine was, but it is what it is. Just every now and then you've got to have those. Don't get me wrong, don't become victims of fashion and buy your labels just so you can say I've got the labels. But there are a few garments, right, that I think are staples in a wardrobe. And that's all I'm going to say on the matter. And I was genuinely going to turn my Instagram into a bit of a clothes. Oh, she's fucking here. Jesus. Oh, yeah. Yeah, like with a what? I have these stupid ideas that no 37-year-old man should ever have. It is what it is. This is my midlife crisis, so let me have it. I don't drive, I don't have a driver's license, so I can't buy a flashy car. So I just rarely become an even bigger hipster than I already am. Anyway, I've just realised my beer fridge is not chilling down the beers as I'd like them to. And I've been talking for a good while now, so not ideal. But yeah, moral of the story, check Vinted. Don't get me wrong, as is with the craft beer world, garments in the beer industry are always like aimed at the fucking femboy stick figure, you know, oh, everyone's a medium or a small market, which really does my fucking head in. And then you buy an extra large brewery t-shirt and then it's fucking like clinging to your body. It's just like Fruit of the Loom. That's a good standard. Have your merchandise printed on Fruit of the Loom. Or do like a lot of like American, like just companies in general, they would have their stuff put onto Carhartt or Dickies garments. It is what it is. It's an ongoing battle with brewery merchandise, because unless you're in a situation to try it on before you buy it, you don't know if that t-shirt or sweatshirt is gonna fit you nicely, or it's gonna fit you like it's a garment that you had 10 years ago that you've grown out of. Do you know what I mean? It's a really... Where's our hashtag movement? People like me. Real beer drinkers. Anyway, that's just a bit of a joke, but it annoys me. Anyway, shut up and just pour the beer. I'm being a misogynist to myself with that statement. Beer in the glass then. And oh yeah, look at that. Hazy as you like, yellowy orange. Lovely 1 to 2 fingers worth of white head. Didn't even have to use my fissures. fissures. I've got fissures all over my body. Fingers to measure. Don't do that gesture. That's so fucking. Although you could do that and then. Well, stop it. Stop it. It's so crude. And I've just realised there may have been a dead fly in my glass. It is now being disposed of. Anyway, questionable finger gestures aside, beer looks absolutely fantastic. Let's see what we get on the nose. Ooh. There's a really nice malt profile coming through. I believe this is primarily centered on the Galaxy hop. It's got a little bit of that sort of like Australian, New Zealand dryness, like grape musk sort of character. But maybe some little bit of raspberry, like a dehydrated raspberry, aka, like, is that not just a raisin? No, that's a currant. No, it's not. Oh my god, I can't. Forgive me, I'm not really well tuned on my dried fruits. Why do people watch this channel? But I do appreciate anyone who sees that the Clueless Drinker video. We've moved on from the Casual Smokers Collective. Although if that would be a great name for like a record label or a compilation album series. But yeah, it's got like slight berry characters, I would say. A little bit of muskiness there. All in all, smells very, very nice. A little bit dank as well. Cheers. Oh, that's nice. A little bit earthy. Nice grape-like dry bitter finish on the back end. It's very, very savoury. There's like very subtle fruity notes in there just to, you know, balance it off nicely. Oh, beautifully creamy body. Oh my god. There's like a real decadence to the texture of this one. But yeah, it's very dank, savoury. There are those grape-like characters coming through that you tend to find a little bit drier from those New World hops from Australia and New Zealand. But it doesn't drift too far into that flavour profile, which I'm just not a big fan of, which is well documented on the channel. That's just so Moorish. It's like, weirdly, it's not like the most like flavoursome, like flavour explosion IPAs. It's just like, it's the subtlety that works with this, but there's still an abundance of flavour and character to it. Body is terrific. It's got a real sort of like almost viscosity to it. And as well as the viscosity, there's like a salinity to it as well, which I quite like. And that plays into that savoury flavour profile. It's by far like a fruity IPA by any stretch. It's really not that sweet at all. Oh man. I mean, I wouldn't recommend, you know, crushing a 4-pack of this at a jailgate. Is that what it's called? It's not jailgate, is it? You know, when people like drink outside of the stadium for like an American football or baseball game. Trailgate. Trailblaze? No, I'm a trailblazer. Trailgating? Oh, what's that term called? Anyway, it's if you're anywhere near one of the venues of Trillium, I would completely justify, and I'm actually quite jealous of you buying this beer regularly in a 4-pack. I'm paying much less domestically than, of course, understandably, we would pay here on an international level. This is just, it's flagship, which means it's core, but it's just got so much character to it. And although I am a big champion in many ways of, especially like myself, I can find myself buying beer on a budget, getting the supermarket stuff, a lot of that disappoints. Don't know what point I'm trying to make here, but that's just terrific. I'm not too sure, you know, when Trillium started. I'm not sure when this was first brewed, but, you know, it's the flagship beer of a brewery that has a massive, justifiably so, reputation. So for them to come out of the gates with a beer like this, you'll find like breweries all over the world who will brew so many beers like this before they get to that beer that people like look at them and go, God, that IPA is terrific. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, and I just love the style of the artwork. I think when I did my 4-point review, I went into a bit of a spiel about like the brewery itself and the art direction and stuff like that. And there's only like a select few amount of breweries where I drink their beer and I instantly want to go visit them. And I would absolutely love to have a bit of a stop off, because I think they've got a few venues or places. I'm not sure if it's all in Massachusetts, but I could happily justify flying to Massachusetts and focusing my trip on visiting Trillium, much like I would with other half. Even Brooklyn Brewery. I know, especially for the UK market, there's a, I don't know, where do people stand on Brooklyn Brewery? One of like the real pioneers of especially the American brewing scene or contemporary brewing scene. But yeah, I'd love to go to Massachusetts, and they're in Boston, of course they are. So yeah, I could easily save up and justify a trip to Boston with the focus of checking out Trillium beers at the source. And there's very few breweries that I would happily just, I mean, Sierra Nevada, do you know what I mean? I'd love to go to California just to go to Sierra Nevada. Even Stone Brewing, you know, they've sort of, have they dropped off? I don't know. But yeah, fundamentally, this is an absolutely terrific IPA. Did I pay over the odds for it? Probably. Am I disappointed? No. Because for like 3 or 4 quid less, I would buy an IPA and be disappointed with it. Do you know what I mean? So it sort of balances itself out. Would I like buy stuff like this consistently? No, because I'm on minimum wage and I'm not an absolute lunatic. But when you get the opportunity to buy these sorts of beers, add them to your beer order or base a beer order around them. And I'm obviously I'm a big champion of the UK brewing in general, and I know there will be beers that are being brewed right now that will be comparable to this, but sometimes, every now and then, as someone who's in the UK, you just have to bite the bullet and pick up a few of these beers if you can afford it. And I would happily sacrifice 2 or 3 IPAs of a similar ABV that will disappoint me. I mean, obviously there's a bit more longevity out of that because you've got 3 separate beers, whereas this is just 1 beer and it's going down very quickly. So the economics are not looking well in my favour. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. And it's got me really excited to drink the can of 4 Point that I've got. Is it 4 Point? I'm going to have to go check. And it's getting warmer now, so ideally I need to get these beers in the fridge. But my beer fridge is very small. Where's it gone? Oh, right at the back, obviously. Yeah, Fort Point, the double dry hopped version, which to me was a phenomenal beer, as is this one. And I don't know if you can even hear me right now. And I've just realised you will have seen this beer belly at an angle, because if you thought I looked bad head on, just wait till you see me at a profile angle. Hang on, is profile straight on or is profile at the side? Don't do that because you've got a double chin and hair that's got no shape, much like your body. But yeah, this is terrific. And I would buy it again, happily. And as much as I feel the UK craft breweries are churning out phenomenal IPAs, double IPAs, triple IPAs, pale ales, it's just every now and then to drink the beers that have inspired a lot of the UK brewers, and they nail it. They absolutely nail it. Now, don't get me wrong, we all know that American bread is just like eating a cake, and Warburtons would wipe the floor with a lot of the breads that are available in the USA. But yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, fuck me, do they do it right, and they are consistent, and they've got the reputation for a reason. They're not just like a shot in the dark, flash in the pan sort of brewery, or an unjustified like hype thing. I think Trillium just fundamentally, from my experience, make terrific beers. Unfortunately though, I think I've just had like pale ales, IPAs and double IPAs, so I'd be really interested to try some of their like darker styles. I know sometimes we get like some of their Foden, like some of their like their barrel aged lagers, the Foden lagers and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd love to try Trillium Imperial Stout. So yeah, it is what it is, folks. Anyway, thank you for watching this rambly video. I very rarely in my personal life ever get to talk about beer. Although I've managed to introduce a few people like in work and my personal life to try this, put the Madry down and try an Augustina. I mean, yeah, a bottle of it is going to cost you probably more than the pint of that shite, but at least you're not getting like your body corrupted by glucose syrup and a glorified Carling recipe. They're selling you a lie. But then again, I am partial to Cruz Campo, I am partial to a Madry, I am still partial every now and then to a Coors Light. It's just that you drink for the situation, don't you? And let's be honest, even a bad beer, at the end of the day, let's be brutally honest, it's still a beer. I'd much rather have to drink a Carling than be one of those utter lunatics who chooses to go to the pub to drink a Coca-Cola or Pepsi. I understand that if you're driving, that's fair enough, but there are some really good alcohol-free options nowadays. Guinness 0.0 it's a great beer, tastes just as good. No, it doesn't, but you still get the feel of it. That was a terrible Donald Trump impression, and yeah, I'm going to just end this video now. Go check out Trillium. I'd imagine a lot of the craft beer drinkers watching this have already tried this. They probably tried it 10 years ago. I don't know if it was brewed 10 years ago, but you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you for watching. Phenomenal. If you get the opportunity to buy it, do it. Yes, you can probably buy 2 or 3 other IPAs, but with how overly saturated the market is for that style of beer, it's all right. Would you rather have 2 or 3, oh, that was all right, or would you have that one beer where you go, poh? Would you rather go, or would you rather go, poh? I'll leave it at that. Yeah, I don't get to buy beers like this often. I can never justify the price 9 times out of 10. But then again, I did have Heady Topper from Alchemist, and that was just unbelievable, like the only other time that I've had it. And just every now and then, if you can do it, just fucking do it. And Trillium, it's a wonderful beer, and I am so excited now to crack open my other can of 4-point double dry hopped IPA. I could have bought normal Fort Point, but I thought on my budget I wanted to get 2 Trillium beers, and when I saw that they had this, the flagship from Trillium, I thought, I've got to do it. I've got to do it. Anyway, if you've tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. And yeah, thank you for watching. Trillium's going to be in the description. And I feel like I've sweated more. My hair's got greasier as this video's gone on. And as you can see, I've put Betty to sleep. Not in that way. Not in that way. Bye.